Ladies and gentlemen, adjust your headphones.
Welcome to a brand new podcast called You Should Know Better, where the story doesn't always fit. Over the course of this podcast, we're going to look at some of the weird and wonderful stories in the news that you may not have seen, while also going through some of the current mainstream stories, but with a twist. We're going to look at some of the most unsavory characters in those stories and try and explain their situation, basically put ourselves in their shoe. I'm your host, Junior Amobire, DJ, comedian and content creator, and I'll pass you over to my co-host.
Oh yeah, I'm Michael Akadiri. What's going on, people? I work in healthcare. I do a bit of comedy, and I do podcasting now. So yeah, good vibes over here.
Look at that, the full package.
There we go.
So without further ado, we're going to skedaddle into our first segment, Undercover Gems, where we look at stories in the news that you may not have seen. So, Mike, I've got one for you.
Hit me.
You ready?
Let's go.
All right, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a title and you can try and give me an idea of what you think's going on here. So, Arizona man tries to get his way out of work.
All right. If I'm going to try and get my way out of work, you got to say you got COVID. You've got to say you got COVID. In this era, if you're not using COVID as your excuse to get out of work, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Because no one's going to question that. And also, because it's so virulent, you got to stay at home. And they're not even going to, you got to stay at home. So also, they're not going to really come and check you like that. Sometimes, not that they will check you normally, but they're not really going to check you like that. And they got to organize a test for you. And more time, obviously, I know Arizona's in the States, but I know in the UK, you got to sort of hide at home for 10 days. So that's a free holiday. So, yeah, my man definitely said COVID. He definitely said he got COVID. And because I know in America, you don't get sick leave like that. It's only 2 weeks. You're only allowed to be sick for 2 weeks in a year.
No, that's 2 weeks holiday. You're not allowed sick.
You're not allowed sickness. That's it. Look what Trump has done to people. Look what he's done.
It's even out of the grave. I like your thinking. I like your trail of thought, but it's not what I was looking for. So, Arizona man is accused of faking his own kidnapping to evade work.
What did he do for work? What did he do for work?
You think he worked like with COVID patients or something like that? The dude just worked at a tire store. I don't know what was going on at work.
Sorry, what Michelin man got him scared? What's he did?
Well, the way I look at it, he must have at least tried the COVID one at least 5 times. And they said, listen, you're going to need a better story. Basically, he basically told work that he was kidnapped. So they obviously called the police. Yeah, the police found him 55 miles away from his house. This is genuine, really trying to make sure that the story makes sense. He actually went 55 miles away from his house. He covered himself in dirt and mud and whatnot. And he had his hands tied behind his back. And he had a belt and a purple bandana stuffed in his mouth. That's how they found him. I don't even know how he had his hands tied behind his back.
No, this guy's he's a comedian, you know.
He should be working in magic. He really should be working in magic because the pandemic is the easiest option. Idiot. When they found him, he told police, look, people are after me because my dad owns a large estate and he's got money buried in the treasure. He's got money buried in the desert. That's what his excuse.
No,
and I'm thinking, unless your dad...
This guy needs help.
Yeah, unless your dad is Blackbeard, I don't know who's burying treasure in the desert. I don't know what he was talking about. But anyway, he got arrested on false reporting to law enforcement.
Ross. So he went bin, and what did he lose his job? Has he lost his job?
Well, I like to think so. Yeah, I think once they came back and found out the reason why he was dodging work, they said, "Damn, if you don't want to work it that much, I tell you what, you can have the whole week off. You can have the whole month off because you're fired."
Tired, you know.
Oh yeah,
tired.
I'd love to understand.
Quit fit got myself. Man scared, you know. Quit fit. Simple.
I didn't worried.
No, the fake your own kidnapping. You that takes a lot of planning. That really takes a lot of planning. Like he did. even the old school, family member's sick.
He took himself 55 miles away from his house. That's serious planning. Dropped himself in in a pit with his hands tied behind his back, and there's something stuffed in his mouth.
You can't enjoy it. Is that really more enjoyable than selling tires, sitting in a ditch, your hand tied? I'd rather sell tires, fam. I'd rather sell tires. That's what
or just say I got diarrhea. No one's coming to check you.
Facts.
No one's coming to check.
No boss. Even Mr. Krabs won't check you, fam. I know that guy cares about every penny. This guy was on SpongeBob's ass. Even Mr. Krabs will be like, all right, cool with it. All right, cool. Do your diarrhea.
Yeah. No one's going to check you for diarrhea. But anyway.
He needs to come to us for some excuses. Now, mine, the story I've got this week is not, it's to do with work. So it's quite similar to your one. So it's to do with work. I'm going to give you the headline and I'll let you obviously tell me what's good. So the headline is plastic surgeon turns up for Zoom call. So a plastic surgeon turns up.
Plastic surgeon turns up for Zoom call.
Yeah.
Like in his. So wait, is he
so
at
Zoom
work?
Court. So he
Zoom
turns
court.
up
So is he in trouble? I'm going to assume he's in trouble.
Yeah,
he's got a court case, but he may have forgot that he had the court case and was like, shit. I've got this court case that I need to do. Someone just hook up the fucking Zoom video recording and let me talk. That's what I think happened. Or he's got a filter on like that guy who had the cat filter on or something. Or like he's in surgery and he's just dropped a bit of his pizza in someone while he was in court. That's what I think has happened.
Pizza. Fuck that. What do you think happened?
He's having lunch. He's having lunch on the Zoom call. He's working. It's not easy, man. It's not easy.
It's not easy. And for Dr. Scott Green, it wasn't easy for him. He's he's a plastic surgeon from Sacramento, California. So he's living the vida loca. And I think he had a traffic violation. And obviously, most people, if you got a Zoom call, you find somewhere quiet in your crib to take the Zoom call. Not Scott. Obviously, he took it live during an op. He was doing an op. He was hands dirty doing an op. He took the call. Obviously, the patient asleep, the whole shebang in it. And I low key think he thought, you know what? Obviously, I'm a doctor. Maybe he heard about clapping for the NHS. He thought, look, they'll give him good favor in it. They'll see him in the scrubs. The Noble Member Society.
NHS the US.
Yeah. I know. Obamacare didn't run there in it, but I thought they'll give him. He probably thought they'll see me in my scrubs and give me good favor. But obviously, they were like, no, go look after your patient, innit? But the thing is, and I think the judge did that because he's thinking, obviously, if I let the surgeon focus on what he needs to do, he'll give the patient better care. But what he doesn't realise, and I don't know about you, Junior, but I don't want no pissed off surgeon operating on me, innit? Like I don't want a guy he's gonna be madder than mad. I know he was mad when that call ended, innit? Because they had to reschedule, and obviously you need a steady hand. Like, imagine you're doing a nose job, and as a result, there could be someone in California walking around with 3 nostrils right now. Like, he could have done such a terrible job. Like, or if they're getting a BBL, they probably have 1 cheek. Like,
he wasn't thinking straight.
He wasn't thinking. He's thinking about this traffic violation. He got us sorted. He left a guy or girl. You know, men or women can get BBLs now. So there's probably someone walking around with 1 cheek, and we don't know. We don't know.
So let me get this right. So he was in the middle of his courtroom session, and they said, "Oh, it looks like you're doing surgery, sir, Mr. Scott, sir."
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is gonna let you reconvene at another day. They let him off, basically.
They said, look, obviously we got to reconvene at another date. And he was like, no, it's cool, quickly. And they're like, no, we're going to reconvene. So then obviously he's pissed off because obviously he's thinking, right.
Why is he pissed off? He might as well just continue doing that because if he keeps doing that, they'll keep letting him off. That's what I'd do. Or put the Zoom filter on like that man with a cat. That's what I'd do.
I saw the head. I didn't read that story, but I saw the headline when I was obviously looking at this. And I can't believe man put a cat filter and said, I'm not a cat. He said, I'm not a cat.
He said, Judge, I'm not a cat. Hang on. Why is there a feline in this court Zoom?
Is it Tom and Jerry that he said he's not a talking cat? These men are they're not serious.
It's them real Luddites.
But yeah, now shout out Dr. Scott Green. He needs to reconvene for his traffic violation. Shout out Miss Three Nostrils wherever you are. I hope you're okay.
Well, I hope
Two,
that worked out for everyone involved. You know,
she got better ventilation to avoid COVID in it, so shout her out in it.
with that mask.
So we're going to move on to the next segment of the pod now. The main segment of the pod, we call this the You Should Know Better segment of the pod. This is where, in turn, one of us will summarize a news story that you probably have heard of from the past week, and the other has to consider that same news story from the protagonist's shoes and ask themselves, should they have known better? So I'll go first, and the story you probably have heard of, Junior, I know you've heard it, obviously, the Shamima Begum story. So she was in the news. Just to recap for anyone that's been under a rock for the last couple of weeks, she was under the news recently. Back in 2015, she was a 15-year-old UK citizen at the time who left the comforts of East London to go travel to Syria to join ISIS with a couple of her girlfriends. She's since regretted the decision. She wants to come home, but she got stripped of her citizenship quicker than Val Venus. And last year, the Court of Appeal said that she should be allowed to return to contest her citizenship. But in the past week, the Supreme Court have come out and said the Home Office were right, that she's a security threat and she should contest her citizenship stripping from her camp in northern Syria. Don't know how that works out, but that's the case. So, Junior, imagine that you're now Shamima Begum in her sci-fi flats, because I don't think ISIS allow heels.
Flat?
No, she don't wear heels. Shamima Begum's not wearing no heels.
You said she was in a flat. I was going to say
she's in a tent. She's in the worst tent that we had in Duke of Edinburgh, that's for sure. Like,
what, the fire festival tent?
The Ja Rule.
She's in one of them, let her back. That is torture. Let her back. Festival tent. Bring her back. I've seen those sandwiches. Bring her back.
Yeah, that is torture. Like, I'd rather eat those sandwiches or be beheaded. Give me the beheaded.
There's no butter in that.
So yeah, cool. So what were you saying? You're Shamima now.
Yeah,
should she have known better? Look,
listen. All right, we've all been young. Okay, you know, we've all done silly things. You know, some of us have drank our parents' drinks and we shouldn't have.
Facts.
Some of us have tried to, escape East London. Who can blame her? You know, some parts of East London are terrible. So look,
facts.
Her and her mates, they went to Turkey. Turkey's nice. I haven't been, but I heard it's nice. I heard it's a good place for a holiday. And then she's obviously
people who go there for holidays and much else as well.
So I'm assuming, she ran into the wrong crowd. Bit impressionable. Ended up with the guys with the guns and the samurais or whatever they use. Whatever they use
bad boys.
Yeah, wherever they're using that caliphate. And look, she ended up doing some things that she probably regrets. And she's probably sorry. I mean, she was 15. The war's kind of done now. She's on the losing side. No one likes to lose. But when you lose, you can always come back home. So if I was that'd be my case. I say, listen, I was hanging around the wrong crowd. Things got out of hand. And I think it makes sense if you just let me come back, because look, what's going on in Syria here? I haven't had a Ribena in ages and stuff. And let me just get back to some kind of normality. Now, I think they don't want to bring her back because she's a security threat, or she may have COVID. I don't know which one it is, but
because she could have a Syrian variant, and that'll be a problem.
That could be, and that one, it may not follow the guidelines. So, may not listen to the vaccines.
You're in trouble.
I don't know what they're doing out there, but yeah. Look, she let her back. She's done her bit. She's done her time. She's actually gone through some hardship as well. So, she lost some kids. Yeah, she lost some kids. I heard. She lost some kids. Yeah, she lost some kids. So, she's only her coming back. You don't have to pay for like 3 flights now. It's just her. So you don't have to worry about the kids no more. So bring her back. Yeah, because in this country, they don't care about kids in this. So bring her back. So your team bring Shamima back here. Let her contest it. I'm saying if I was her, that would be my argument. That would be my case. Look, that would be. You can even bring on a Ryanair flight because she ain't got no luggage. So don't worry about that stuff. Just bring her back. With a carrier bag for hand luggage. Just don't get wizard. just to get pussy.
Them budget airlines are crimes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jeez. Shamima that knife is peak. It's peak
It is,
because
yeah. It's very
really and truly, obviously they're moving the goalposts. And don't get me wrong, I'm not planning to do anything illegal, but it just goes to show that if you do something illegal and you do have connection with another country, they will, and they've shown form that they can do that and strip you of your citizenship. They did that. Well, it's not the same, but then there was that Ghanaian banker a few years ago who obviously he lost billions. He was a UBS banker during the banking crisis, and yeah, he's in Accra right now because
but he was born in Ghana, right?
Yeah, he was. That's it. He's different. So he was born in Ghana.
It's a totally different case. She was born in the UK. Parents from Bangladesh, or I think maybe Sri Lanka. I'm not 100% sure.
Bangladesh.
It's Bangladesh. Okay, yeah, Bangladesh. And so they've left her stateless. And it's one of those rare situations where she's kind of in a political limbo. Now, I can understand the case has only been suspended. I think she's only not being allowed because, number one, she's a security threat, but I think it's also to do with what's going on in the world right now. So she may get a hearing another day. I don't know. That's for them to decide. But, I understand why a lot of people will be angry for her to come back. Because they're always going to be.
It's our problem to deal with, isn't it?
It's true.
This is the beast, if you want to call it that we created. So we got to deal with it. You can't create a crazy angry child and disown the child. You got to at least wait till they're 18. Obviously, I know it's not the same. She's an adult now, but she is the monster we created. So let's deal with that monster. Yeah,
she may have been groomed. We don't know.
That said, I don't want her on my street, but she can come back to the UK. She's welcome back. Just not in my vicinity, fam.
Why not?
Them links, they take up to die, fam.
No, that will probably be the safest road in the UK because the amount of security, she won't be able to fight without them calling in a SWAT team. You can live next door to me. It's fine. My car would never get stolen. It may blow up.
This guy.
Anyway,
she said she's sorry. Yeah, move on.
Anyway, before I get in trouble. So, as many of you know, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, has been admitted into hospital again. He's been feeling unwell, and he has been treated at King Edward VII's Hospital, and he's now been moved to St. Bartholomew. Buckingham Palace put out a statement saying the Duke of Edinburgh was today transferred to the King Edward VII's Hospital to Bartholomew's, where doctors will continue to treat him for an infection as well as undertake testing and observation for a pre-existing heart condition. Now, we obviously want to wish him well and hope he gets better.
Rest up.
But him and the Queen, they're getting on. He's nearly 100, she's 95, and so a lot of people have been questioning what the line of succession should be. Now, this doesn't have much to do with Prince Philip because whether he dies or not, it's not going to affect the line of succession. But there was a YouGov poll out recently stating that 40% of people would rather see Prince William be the next king as opposed to the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles at 36%. Now, my question to you, Michael, is you're now hearing that poll. You're now putting yourself in Prince Charles's shoes, right? Now, people are saying, you know what? If we're going to have a king, let's have someone who probably aligns more with the current culture, right? People are more going to get behind William than they are Charles. What's your kind of answer to that? Are you not pissed off about that a bit?
Look, Charles, how old is 72, fam? You imagine you are 72. You are past retirement age. You're past retirement age where you're still waiting for this one job.
You're past retirement.
You've been trained for, you've been groomed. And your mum, you're thinking, rah, you're 94. How are you? I'm sure there's many a time he's been in Buckingham Palace. he's seen his mum at the top of the stairs, and he just wants to just give her just a quick.
No one will see.
No one will see. Like, quick, just help her down, fam. I know there's many a time. I'm sure the royal push or whatever he wants to call it, fam. Because like, if you're, like it must be such an odd position to be in that you want the power. And don't tell me this man wants the power. Charles, I've seen it in his eyes. He wants the power. He wants it. He's dying for it. But to get that power, your mother must die. Your mother must die. And I'm sure, like, obviously, I don't think he ain't gonna Diana his mother. But I'm sure that, because obviously she was even involved in that whole thing. But look, he's not going out without a fight. And the fact that his dad is hanging on at 99. His dad, Charles, in fact, what I'm going to say, Charles will do the defrosting thing himself. Charles is going to start doing the freezing and defrosting thing just so he can outlive his mother, because he's seen what they've done to his dad to keep his dad alive, in it. He's seen the magic they do in it. Because the thing with Philip, is that, when they say oh, this person's had a skirmish with death. They've flirted with death or whatever, in it. Like they see, it's like they've seen the Green Reaper and give them like eyes and all bikini emojis. It's so dumb. But the Green Reaper. But the thing is, Philip hasn't just flirted with death. He's been taking death out on dates, fam. Like he's really doing up dates at the Shard of Death. It's crazy, and he's picking up death in his Land Rover. Is mad. He's been.
He nearly did. He nearly did.
Fam, he nearly did. The thing is,
take his license off him.
Of course, I had to take it off him, fam. The thing is, I'm telling you for free, I saw the images of Philip after he was in that accident, and his eyes said to me, "Did I make it? Am I in heaven?" He wanted to go. He wanted to go. He wanted to go. I think he wants out, fam. He wants out, and his family are keeping him alive. That's who it is. I think he wants to go. I think he really wants to go. But the thing is, when you're the prince, when your cousin is the queen, your wife is the queen, they're gonna pull out all the stops to keep you alive. As you said, Shamima Begum's not allowed to fart. You think Philip is allowed to cough? I'm sure he just coughed once and they took him to the hospital.
I just feel like every time he goes, I feel like a new kid somewhere is just losing a lung because they've just got organs on deck for him. They must be just plugging a new lung into that guy. He's just hanging all the time.
Do you know
Bloody hell! I'm surprised he's not in a wheelchair. They must give him new legs because even Captain Tom was, even he had to use the Zimmer frame thing. This guy's still using his own legs. There must be robots or something underneath there because I'm not understanding it. But yeah.
The wickedest thing, he's in St. Bart's, as you said, didn't it? And the St. Bart's is a specialist cardiac hospital.
Yeah,
and
tell us, doctor.
They said that they wanted to check a pre-existing heart condition. All they're doing is checking up on the orphan's organ that he stole. That's what they're checking.
Is the girl from Thailand? Is she still okay? Yeah. When she's asleep, we'll just insert the heart and put it into Philip. Because I don't understand. I don't understand how he's hanging on like this.
He is dust. He wants out, and they're not letting him go. They should just let the man go in peace.
But do you think then that Charles should then skip his go?
No, if I'm holding on, fam. It's like when you're, not that I've been in a minute, when you go to the barbershop, you got your ticket. You hold on to your ticket for dear life, and you think you're giving your spot up to someone else. No, you wait your turn. And you're going to pull out all the stops to make sure you get your turn. So as I said, if you hear about Charles and he's ordering brand new freezers, no one in it.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. There is they call it. I can't remember what they call it. But it's cryogenics. Sorry, cryogenics. Yeah. Where a lot of people they die. A lot of wealthy people when they die, they have their bodies put into a cryo state. So for it's built around the idea that in the future they'll be able to resuscitate people. I've also put a cash down deposit for my own cryogenic chamber. So if I die in no, of course not, but I will if I have £1 million. If I die and I'm timely death, then hopefully they can bring me back. But I don't want to come back and everyone's like, oh, look at him, he looks a bit weird. Because people
Captain America tip.
Well, humans evolve, right? So we may not always look like the way we do now. So people don't be like, look at this guy, looks like a freak. But you know,
true.
At least I should be able to ace my history exams and stuff because I would have been there.
You would have been there live in the flesh.
Live and direct. So I would have saw everything.
But shout out Charles, keep waiting, my guy. Just push it down the stairs, either or. Keep waiting or push it down the stairs.
The wickedest thing is that he's probably gonna become king, and then it's gonna be like a day he's gonna croak, and then William gets it anyway.
That's it. That's it.
But
chess, not checkers, isn't it? Chess, not checkers. So let's round up. We're gonna go into the last sort of segment of the pod. This last segment, we call it like a little throwback sort of segment, and it's a bit of nostalgia, just so we look back at things that happened this week in yesteryear, in years that have gone before us. So Junior, I'm gonna go to you first. If you just quickly sort of summarize, what sort of fact have you sort of found out, or what factor did you research?
Well, I think it was the 3rd of March in 1998. They began the construction of the Millennium Dome. Now, I'm from London. We're from London. We're from Greenwich. The Millennium Dome is very close to our heart.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of the most iconic locations in Greenwich.
That's what we got.
Probably around Southeast London. Yeah. There's that as well, and the observatory and stuff like that. But I mean, Millennium Dome is...
Have you ever introduced yourself like, Junior, I'm from Greenwich? Yeah. So what's good about it? Yeah, come to the observatory. You never dropped that. You're
all the time.
Liar.
All the time. Every time I'm in Shoreditch, say, hey, have you ever been to Greenwich? Have you been to the observatory? Right next to the 472 bus stop.
Criminal behavior.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I remember my first time going to Millennium Dome. It was a school trip. And it was before they had like any restaurants or concert thing or even any metal detectors or anything like that. And they just had an exhibit. They basically used it for like an art exhibit, and they had an exhibit of the human body. And I remember going in. Do you remember going to that?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So I remember going into that, and we was like sliding through the body, and we slid down the heart, and the heart was just making some weird noises. And we were only like, I don't know, 6, 7. And it just kind of freaked us all out. And I was proper scared. I said, I'm never going back to Millennium Dome. It took me like a couple of years till I went back there, till they actually started using it as a concert hall and drinks and food and stuff like that. So yeah, it was interesting to just look back at that and see when it was built. Yeah, very expensive project. Obviously, it sat dormant for like 7 years, but obviously the O2 rescued it. And now, shout out to O2. I worked there for many a year. Not that they remember me, but I gave them many years of my life. King Merchant.
Fam, I
don't know how many
programs. I was selling them programs, right? Boy. We'll tell the Michael Jackson story another day. But my fact that I found was
and he cancelled all them shows.
In fact, Michael Jackson, I'll tell it real quick.
Couldn't he die after?
In fact, he was coming to the O2 to do 50 dates. And I had them 50 dates in my diary. Usually we start work at 5 p.m. because it's the evening show. Because of Michael Jackson, they want to be selling programs from 11 a.m. So I was going to be there all day selling programs. So when they said this man died, you don't know how I cried because I already spent that money. I already spent the money that I hadn't earned yet. And this man went and died. Unbelievable, fam. R.I.P. I was stunned. You know, you drop your chips so you're holding out. Unbelievable. I was heartbroken.
R.I.P. MJ. R.I.P.
Oh my goodness. But R.I.P. MJ. But yeah, my quick fact, because we ran out of time, is this is a real throwback. In the 5th of March, 1558, Dr. Francisco Fernandez introduced smoking tobacco to Europe. And at the time, they thought it would help with treating chronic diseases, which is crazy. And all this has led me to believe that Dr. Fernandez at that time was working for cancer. That's the only explanation I can find. He was working for cancer. That's the only explanation I can find for this, because look what the damage this man has done. All the cancer and all the trouble is Dr. Fernandez. So,
have you tried this?
We tried this. Just spreading cancer all over Europe. This guy, if they find his grave, they need to dig him up and beat him up. And dig him up and beat him up because he's got a lot of heartache, fam. This Fernandez.
Well, if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else.
That's true. But just
would have got their fix somehow. So
That's the world we live in. Even dead babies on the packet aren't stopping people. So it shows the addiction is real, fam.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Some of those images, like showing, like the guy's got no teeth, zero teeth, and you still pick up the pack.
He's like, yeah, that'll do me. Hey, let me get the pack of zero teeth and the black lungs.
Yeah, 40 pack, please. 40 pack.
40 pack. Addiction is real. Addiction is real. Addiction is...
For those fighting addiction, please go to the NHS website where you can find the Quit Starter Pack.
Quit Starter Pack. Yeah, that's
help save yourself, save people around you, save people you love, and save the government because we need the money.
Yeah, that was not a sponsored ad. Next time we need to make sure we get paid for that.
Yeah, NHS.
Shout out to NHS, but we need to get paid.
And don't pay me in claps. I've seen what you lot did to Michael. Don't pay me in claps. I need hard, cold cash. I'm going. I'm leaving here like Balaga, whatever her name is. I'll be out of here if you don't pay me properly, okay?
This man. Anyway, that has been us. That's been the first episode of You Should Know Better. I've been Mike Akadiri. That has been
Amobire.
And yeah, till next week, take it easy, people. Bless.
Love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, adjust your headphones.